I'm actually staying in a tent tonight, and Nikki's gonna hang in the hammock. I bought a new tent, which is the Big Agnes Copper Spur HV UL1. So it's a one-person tent, and the whole reason I bought it was for our trip to the White Mountains. Our plan is to stay on tent platforms every night, and so while I could probably hang, it's a lot harder to find a tent platform with two perfect trees to hang from, and I just don't want to deal with that because we had issues with that last time we were in the Whites, and I end up actually sleeping on top of a tent platform with just my tarp over me one night. I mean, I was tired, so I slept okay, but it was not real comfortable. So anyways, this is my shakedown with that tent, and we're going to see how it goes. I'll show you that tent in a bit when I get it set up. Hey guys, just out in the garage. I want to go over a few things before I take you back outdoors into the woods with me. A few things I didn't get to while I was out backpacking. So I just want to give you a few stats. I'm not going to nerd out on you here, but I just figure I'll give you some weights and kind of give you a reason why I chose the Copper Spur HV UL1. First off, the minimum trail weight, which is probably the more important weight because that's without the bags and stuff like that. It's 2 pounds and 2 ounces. Some of you might have seen in the original Red River Gorge video with my brother and our friend Brian that I was using a Copper Spur UL2. And I do still have that tent, and I recently used it in the campground at Shawnee State Forest. So the whole reason I'm not bringing that is, one, it's a minimum trail weight of 2 pounds 12 ounces, so it's 10 ounces more. The other thing is it has 2 doors and 2 vestibules, and obviously sleeps 2 people, so it's a bigger footprint in the first place. So we are staying on tent platforms in the White Mountains, and I want to have the smallest footprint that I can possibly have in a tent, and that's why I went with the UL1. I also have a Fly Creek UL1, which is the older version. It's not the brand spanking new one, and it's got a minimum trail weight of 1 pound 11 ounces, so it's 7 ounces less than the Copper Spur UL1. But there are a few reasons why I'm not going to bring that, and I'll start with number 1. That is a semi-freestanding tent, meaning that it needs to be guyed out correctly to make use of its full volume. The Copper Spurs are obviously fully freestanding tents, and that is a huge plus for me. The other thing with the Fly Creek is it has a smaller vestibule. The Copper Spur has a 9 square foot vestibule, and the Fly Creek only has a 5. So that's less room to keep my gear. The third thing is the front entry on the Fly Creek. I much prefer the side entry on the Copper Spur. So those are the reasons why I'm not bringing the Fly Creek. So the other thing is the HV stands for high volume, and I love that. It basically, the poles are more upright, so that gives the walls a steeper pitch. And basically, if you have a tent like this with 2 poles, your head goes up in this area up here. If you put them at a steeper pitch and round them out at the top, you can see the amount of headroom you gain. And that's kind of the theory behind the high volume tents. So I also want to hit on a couple of features that I didn't mention earlier. So one is the no Seeum Mesh. It actually has a black no Seeum mesh around the sides for privacy, and then on the top it has an orange no Seeum mesh. So it's supposed to be more see-through and really good for stargazing. It does come with reflective guy lines, and the webbing that it goes through is reflective as well. It comes with 8 aluminum J stakes. It's completely seam taped. It's got a hubbed pole set. And if you're not familiar with the Copper Spur tents, I'll tell you the old one actually had a hubbed pole set as well, but the very top pole, the cross pole, was separate, so you had to put that together separately. On the new one, it's all held together, so it's all one hubbed pole set. So that's kind of a plus too. So that's really about all the extra I have for you. I'll take you back out to the woods and we'll go over the tent in person. Well, there it is. The Big Agnes Copper Spur HV UL1. Pretty small tent. It's got only one door on it, but the vestibule is plenty big enough for all my gear. It's got plenty of guy out points. Make sure you get proper ventilation, and it does have a vent. Yeah, trying to do that one-handed. And pitches pretty easily. It was a fairly quick setup, but the new high volume model of the Copper Spur, for all of the Copper Spur models, gives you a ton more room inside. But I think this is a nice simple tent. It's going to do well in the White Mountains, and like I say, easy to set up. I just love that about it. The poles are color coded to the straps, so you know which end it goes on. It can be pitched without the tent body, just with the footprint and the rain fly. That is a nice ultralight option. But beautiful tent. I'm never disappointed with Big Agnes. They always do a great job, and you really can't beat their warranty either. Well, we almost got camp cleaned up. I just got a little bit of the tent left here, and before I put it away, I'll show you a couple other things on this new high volume edition of the Copper Spur. So obviously the tie backs here on the door. Okay, so this is one of the new things here. There are two zippers on the door, and it is like a D-shaped door, where the other one actually, the other one kind of went up and around. So whenever you undid it, you had that flap, or the door actually, hanging down onto the ground. You'd be stepping on it or whatever. I just always thought that was a kind of a crappy design, but I never liked it. And I have a Copper Spur 2, the original one. Well, I love that tent, but the door is the one thing that I just can't stand about it. So I do like that door. I thought that it would get on my nerves because there's two zippers to undo every time, but actually it's kind of nice. I like it. So here's the other thing is, inside here they have all these little tie out points. Up here, here, over here, all down here and there. You've got pockets up here, a little pocket here with a hole for your headphones, another pocket down here. Whole lot of places to put things and store things. It's just a really, really nice design. This, I think, loads better than the old one. So, and I love the old one. So, hey, if you still can get a good deal on an old one, pick up an old one, because they're not bad. They're great tents still. I just think that the improvements that they've made are just awesome. Really, really put this tent over the top.